Good morning, student. Today we're going to start with the soil as a resource. In the previous class I have explained about the land as a resource, and today our topic of discussion will be the soil as a resource. We know that soil is a loose unconsolidated material of the earth's surface. It is a thin layer of grainy substances that covers the earth's surface. It is closely linked to land, and landforms determine the type of soil. The types of soil is totally dependent on the different forms of landform. As the soil is made up of organic material, and the materials and weathered rocks found on the earth are responsible for the soil formation. So this happens through the process of weathering. So soil is formed by the weathering of the rocks that is present on the earth. So the right mixture of minerals and organic material makes the soil fertile. So how the soil became fertile? Because of the mixture of the organic material as well as the types of mineral it consists of that makes the soil fertile. So now we are going to read about the soil profile. The soil profile generally consists of mainly 4 layers. The topmost layer is consist of the topsoil, which is composed of humus and vegetative cover. Then below that layer is the subsoil, which consists of sand, silt and clay. After that layer, below that, we are having weathered rock material, and below that there is a parent rock. The diagrammatic representation of the soil profile will be given to you so that it will be easier for you to know the soil profile that I have told you. So we have first the topsoil, then we have subsoil, then we have weathered rock material, and the last one, that is the parent rock. So all these 4 layers helps in the formation of the soil. Now, what are the factors that help in the soil formation? So the factors that determine the formation of the soil is mainly the nature of the parent rock and the climatic factors also. Other factors are also dependent, such as the topography of a particular region, the role of organic material, and obviously the time, because time is important factor for the soil formation. So for the soil forming factor, we have the parent rock that determines the color of the soil, the texture of the soil, the chemical properties of the soil, minerals, and content of the soil, and the permeability of the soil is dependent on the parent rock. Next, the climate as the factor of soil formation helps how regarding the temperature, rainfall that influence the rate of weathering and humus formation of the soil. Then we have the relief as an important factor, because the altitude and slope determine the accumulation of soil. Then we have the flora, fauna and microorganism that helps in the rate of humus formation in the soil. And of course the last one, that is the time as an important factor of soil formation, because it determines the thickness of soil profile. Now we'll read about the soil degradation and soil conservation techniques. So how the soil are getting degraded, that we're going to read. So because of the soil erosion and depletion, they are the major threat to soil as a resource. The soil is getting degrading day by day. and the soil erosion are taking place because of our faulty activity, and sometimes the natural process also. So both human and natural factors are responsible for soil erosion and degradation of soil. So factors which lead to soil degradations are deforestation, overgrazing, overuse of chemical fertilizers or pesticides. It can be due to landslides and flood also, or because of the rain wash. So these are the factors which helps in the soil erosion process to take place. So as soil is the vital resource without which we cannot grow crop or plant, so we need to conserve the soil for us only. So what are the soil conservation techniques that we have in order to conserve the soil? First, with the help of mulching. What is that? The bare ground between plant is covered with a layer of organic matter like straw. It helps to retain soil moisture. If we give a layer of straw between the plants, then it will help in holding the moisture with the help of the straw that we have kept in between the plants. So it helps in holding the moisture of the soil. Next is with the help of contour barriers. Sometimes stone, grass, soils are used to build barriers along contour. Do you know what is contour? It is the line joining places having equal heights. So we have to build a barrier along that equal heights line, so that trenches are made in front of the barriers to collect water, so that the water can be collected there and the soil cannot be washed down because of the barrier that has been built. Next is by building rock dam. Rocks are piled up to slow down the flow of water. So this prevents the gullies and further soil erosion. So if we create a rock as a barrier, then it will help in the slow down of soil erosion process, as well as it check the soil loss and gully erosion also. Then we have intercropping as a method of soil conservation, where different types of crops are grown in alternative rows and are shown at different times to protect the soil from washing away through rain wash. Then we have contour ploughing as a method of soil conservation technique, that is ploughing parallel to the contour line of a hill slope to form a natural barrier for water to flow down the slope. If we build a contour barrier along the hilly tracks, then it will help in the soil to get tied into that barrier rather washing down the slope. Then we have the shelter belts. In the coastal and dry regions, rows of trees are planted to check the wind movement to protect the soil cover. So shelter belts are nothing but the planting of trees according to a particular row or a belt through which the soil can be protected because of the roots of the plants. So in this way we can conserve the soil. So today up to this, then we will continue with the next class with the water as a resource. Thank you.